So Israel is on trial, and I don't just mean in the court of public opinion. I'm talking about the highest courts on the entire planet. Today, we're going to break down what this unprecedented legal battle means for Israel, for Palestinians, and really for the future of international justice itself.
Our source material opens with this quote, and it really sets the stage, doesn't it? The argument here is that for millions of people all over the world, the verdict on Israel's military campaign is already in. It's a judgment delivered not by judges in robes, but by the sheer weight of global opinion.
Okay, but public opinion is one thing. Formal international law, that's a whole different ballgame. And that brings us right to the core question we're tackling today. Can these powerful courts actually deliver a binding verdict in a conflict this complex, this politically charged?
To really wrap our heads around this legal showdown, we've got to go to The Hague, which is basically the world's capital of international justice. It's there that two very different courts are hearing two very different but, deeply connected cases.
And this is super helpful for understanding what's going on. You've got two different legal arenas here. On one side, there's the ICJ, the UN's top court, where countries sue other countries. So in this case, it's South Africa versus the state of Israel. But then you have the ICC, which is totally different. That's a criminal court that goes after individuals. And right now, it's seeking warrants for Israel's prime minister and former defense minister. States versus people, that is a really, really crucial distinction to keep in mind.
So at the ICJ, South Africa's case is built on the single most serious accusation you can make in international law: genocide. Now, the key thing here isn't just about whether war crimes were committed, it's about intent. They're arguing that Israel's actions and the statements made by its leaders show a specific intent to destroy the Palestinian people in Gaza as a group. That is a very high legal bar to clear.
So, how did we even get here? Well, these monumental cases didn't just pop up out of nowhere. They're actually the result of a long, long journey. We're talking 2 decades of legal and political moves designed to bring this conflict onto the world's biggest stage.
Okay, take a look at this timeline because it shows the exact moment things really shifted. See that bit in 2012 when Palestine gained non-member observer state status at the UN? That was the game changer. Seriously, it gave them the legal key, you could say, to join international treaties and courts. And that unlocked the door to the International Criminal Court, creating a powerful new way to try and hold individuals accountable. But here's where the story takes a turn. As these legal pathways started to open up, our source material describes this secret war, not on a battlefield, but a war waged against the courts themselves, a campaign of pressure, of intimidation, all designed to shut these cases down before they could even get started.
And this isn't just speculation. A major investigation by the Guardian newspaper, detailed in the source, claims Israel waged this multi-year war to derail the ICC's work. And we are talking about some wildly serious allegations: espionage, hacking court communications, and intimidation campaigns aimed right at the very heart of international justice. And get this, the investigation even claims that the former head of Mossad, Israel's foreign intelligence agency, personally met with the ICC's chief prosecutor to pressure her into dropping the case. And reportedly, this wasn't a friendly chat. We're talking about alleged threats against her and her family.
Wow. I mean, one legal expert put it this way: in Italy, we have a word to describe a system that threatens judges and lawyers. It's a mafia system. That's a powerful comparison, right? It really drives home the claim that these weren't just standard diplomatic disagreements, but an attempt to subvert the rule of law through raw intimidation.
And this pressure wasn't happening in a vacuum. It was also coming from Israel's most powerful ally. The United States actually put financial sanctions on top ICC officials, and a group of senators sent a letter directly threatening the prosecutor. So you've got this perfect storm of political pressure, making it incredibly difficult for the court to just operate independently. But here's the thing. Despite all of that intense pressure, the courts didn't fold. Not at all. They moved forward, issuing a series of bombshell rulings and requests that have brought us right to this critical moment.
So where does that leave us now? Well, on one hand, you have the ICJ ordering Israel to prevent genocidal acts. On the other, the ICC is seeking arrest warrants for its top leaders. And in response, defiance. Israel has rejected the court's authority, calling their actions politically motivated. This is a head-on collision between international law and a sovereign state.
And this, right here, exposes the fundamental weakness of international law. You see, rulings from these courts are only as powerful as the willingness of countries to actually enforce them. The courts don't have a police force, they don't have an army, they rely completely on the cooperation of the global community.
The main way you enforce an ICJ ruling is through the UN Security Council, the most powerful political body in the world. But, and this is a huge but, it comes with a massive catch: the veto. Any of the 5 permanent members can single-handedly block a binding resolution. And when it comes to Israel, one country has consistently used that power.
And that's the political reality that's just hanging over both of these cases. The United States has used its veto dozens of times to shield Israel from binding resolutions at the UN. It means that even if the ICJ issues a final ruling against Israel, the legal path to actually enforcing it to the Security Council is, for all practical purposes, a dead end.
So we're left with this fundamental tension. When the ideals of international law collide with the realities of national power and geopolitics, which one breaks? The cases against Israel are more than just a legal battle. They're a massive stress test for the entire system of global justice. And right now, the world is watching to see if it will hold.